في اون سبورت. طبعا يسعدنا ويشرفنا ان احنا نرحب بيه في الوقت الحالي. Mister, we are very happy to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us. And we are really missed your type of defense nowadays. The difference becomes so huge between your era and the era nowadays.
Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be there on your show. Yeah, and football's changing, and defending is changing as well with a lot of teams and with a lot of players as well. When I still look at the football and when I look at certain teams and certain players defend, then I think we maybe can teach them something, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think the best defender in the world right now will be playing in the FIFA World Cup of Clubs? Or do you think that he's in Liverpool and he will not participate in the tournament?
Yeah, well, I think now in the World Cup for clubs, there's going to be a lot of quality defenders and very good players. But to be honest, I think Virgil van Dijk is at the moment the best defender in the world, and he's not taking part. And I think he deserves the rest as well.
Okay. As you said that you may teach a lesson to some defenders nowadays, how can you face someone like Lamine Yamal? He was a ghost versus Inter in 2 matches. How can defenders nowadays face a player like this?
Well, you need to be very focused when you play against a player like Jamal, and you know his qualities are exceptional in his dribbling, his vision as well, his positioning is very good. He's very, very fast, of course, on the ball with his quality. So as a defender, you need to be very clever in your positioning. So when it's necessary, then you can go tight, you can press him. You need to close the inside a little bit more, so he cannot go to the inside with his left foot. But knowing when you close the inside a lot, then he's going to go outside and try to get past you by the outside. So you need to be very focused. You need to be aggressive, and sometimes you also need to have teammates that can help you out, so you can double up in certain areas as well. So it makes it more difficult for him to get past you and as a defender, but also to deliver that cross or to score a goal.
Yeah. If the defenders at your era, like you, like Maldini, like Cannavaro, and so on, face a player like this, did you think that you can success versus a player in this type?
Well, you know, when we played, like the names that you just mentioned, when we played in our era, we had great players against us as well, you know, like the Brazilian Ronaldo, for instance. He was also a player with a lot of skill and a lot of pace and quality. And back in the day when we played, we knew that the strength that we had as a defender, that we could face these players. And I think that's what you always need to have and always need to do as a defender. You need to be confident in what you can do yourself as well, know your own strength as a defender as well, and then, you know, take these players on and show them that you're not afraid and show them that you can make it very difficult for them. So it's always interesting to play against these players, because if you can do well, that tells you something as well about your own quality and how you are able to solve the situation.
Yeah, I realized that despite he didn't win a lot with the clubs, I mean for Ronaldo, but every defender in this era, like you, like Maldini, like Cannavaro, like Nesta, always talking about Ronaldo, el fenomeno. He can be at the same level for Messi or Ronaldo. If he didn't get injured, he can be better. How can you describe Ronaldo at his prime in Inter and Real Madrid and Barcelona? How can you describe this player for this generation right now?
Yeah, because he is Ronaldo. I played with Ronaldo when he was at PSV Eindhoven in the start of his career, when he just came from Brazil. So I was there in PSV in Holland as well. So we've been playing together for half a season at least. And already then, when he was very young, you can see the exceptional skills that he had. You know, the quality on the ball, the pace. He's very unpredictable in when he has the ball, so you never know what he's going to be doing. And that's a little bit the same with Jamal, of course, as well. And training with these players and playing against these players makes it great for us defenders as well, you know, to be more aware of what you can do. And all these players who've been playing with him and faced him as well, you know, with the national teams, of course, as well, they all acknowledge his skills and what he can do and how he can play. And that's very good, you know, and he had a lot of injuries, and that's why he never came to the same level as, you know, as Messi, as the current Ronaldo, as Cruyff or Maradona, because, you know, he didn't play continuously so many matches, but if you see the skills that he had when he played, when he was fit, when he made that step from Holland going to Spain and eventually going to Italy as well, you know, he's been one of the best players in the world without a doubt, and it's a shame for him that he was injured. But if you compare him to players now, then you can compare him to Messi, to Ronaldo, to Jamal a little bit as well. You know, he's still very young, but you know, these are all players that are like, well, currently or were the best players in the world.
Yeah. Al-Ahli will have Inter Miami in the beginning, and then he will have Palmeiras and Porto. How did you see the chances for the next round?
For whom you say, sorry?
Al-Ahli from Egypt will face Inter Miami at the beginning, and then he will have Palmeiras and Porto. How do you see the chances for the next round qualification?
Well, I see the chances good. You know, yeah, you can say, okay, you know, it's a tough group, difficult games, but the thing is that all these teams, they've played into Miami. They're still in the league. Of course, the other teams, you know, come over there at the end of the season. They played already a lot of games, so you know, to play these games, you know, I think it's very interesting for all these teams to see where they are after the season, still within the season. Can they still show quality? Different grounds, different country to play in as well. So I give them a chance. I think it's very open, this tournament, if you look at all the teams in what they can expect. So it doesn't mean that teams going over there with a certain name, a big name as a club, is going to win this league. No, I think it's going to be very open, and it's going to be very interesting to see and where they're going to end up. But I give them a good chance to go to the next round.
Who is your nominees to win the tournament at this time? Is PSG, Inter, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich? How do you see the chances?
Yeah, normally we always say that, or a lot of people would say that, okay, teams maybe from Europe, you know, maybe they've got the best players or they have a big chance. But I'm not sure in this tournament if they are the favorites to win this tournament, because I think in every part of the world you've got very, very good teams, quality players. So I find it very difficult to say, okay, this is the team that's going to be winning the league. Yeah, if we need to talk about our clubs, because for us in Europe it's difficult also, you know, to have a good opinion about the other teams, of course, in the world, you know, because we don't always see them play. And that's our thing. But we know that there's a lot of quality in the world as well, and from Egypt as well, of course, and from all the other countries as well. You know, there's a lot of quality, so it's difficult to say that. And for us, it's then easy to say, okay, if we then need to have a look at the European teams, then of course Paris Saint-Germain is one of the teams that is in current form. You know, they've just won the Champions League, they've won their league, they have a good chance. But you know, for them it's very difficult because every other team that's facing them, they want to beat them. And so it makes it very difficult for them. But it's, again, you know, it's very good to watch this tournament. It's very good to see the other teams as well from all over the world playing over there. We can all watch the quality of these players as well, and it's a good step for them as well to maybe you know, make a step somewhere else and go and play for different teams.
This is very interesting. Okay, let's move back to Europe. Do you believe in the second chance for Amorim for next season with Man United? And do you believe in the second chance with Massimiliano Allegri to returning back to AC Milan?
Well, it's for Amorim, it's of course very important that he's going to step up as a manager, and by stepping up, I mean that he's going to be improving the team, the level of football, so he can make that next step to a certain level, and that's what he needs to do now. That's what he needs to try, and I think that's what he wants to do as well. Very important for him is that the board, the club, is backing him up by bringing in good players, so it can help him in getting more results. And he knows as well that he needs to show more quality. The same is of course for the new manager at Milan. You know, when you step in over there, and also Milan wants to have quality. Also, they want to compete every season to win the league, and also doing well in Europe, of course, in winning trophies. That was, when I was there, it was the issue. Now they've been building as a team as well. They've been showing more quality. And unfortunately, last season they didn't do that well enough. But of course, for the new manager again coming back in there is of course very important to bring the club, bring the team to a level where they can compete to win, of course, the Serie A again.
Okay. Mohamed Salah talked here at On Sport about Arne Slot, and he was talking about that he feel more freedom in playing with Arne Slot than Jurgen Klopp. He feels that he got trust from the coach and so on. What did you think Arne Slot made in Liverpool for this season? And for the next season, do you believe that he can, again, with the Premier League, be competing in the Champions League with the same power, same level? What do you think of him?
I think at first, Salah did a great job. It's unbelievable the quality that he's been showing last season. Scoring so many goals, very important goals, giving all these assists as well, very important. So a lot of respect for him in how he's been playing. Very important for him in doing that is, of course, the manager. And the manager needs to give a player confidence. Even a great player and one of the best players now in football, Salah, needs to have confidence. And if you have a manager that is very much into attacking football and he gives you the freedom and the opportunity to attack, not to defend too much, of course sometimes he needs to track back, but giving him the freedom to do his own thing in the style of play that they want to play, then you can have success. And that's what happened today as well. And it is very important for a manager, of course, to play an attacking style of play when you have these type of players. So it's very important. It's very good. And hopefully they can continue next season as well in doing so. And that's why Liverpool is looking for new players. They're looking for fullbacks, attacking fullbacks. They're looking for strikers, because you want to continue that quality of football. And that's why you need to add quality to the squad as well. Because if you can do that, there's a lot of quality in there that makes it more difficult for the opposition to play against you. You have a lot of threats going forward, which is of course very important. And by adding that quality, it gives Salah, of course, a little bit more breathing space as well. Because sometimes the other teams they need to give a lot of attention to the other players as well. So Salah gets more time and more freedom at times as well, so he can do his thing and still be very important for the team.
Finally, if you have the vote with France football, would you give the Ballon d'Or to Salah, to Lamine, to Ousmane Dembélé after the Champions League? Who is your best nominee for the Ballon d'Or this year?
No, I think I need to give it to Salah, although it's very difficult for me, to say a Liverpool player needs to get it, but but Salah, he deserved it. He's had such a great season. He's been so important. He's been breaking so many records in the Premier League as well, and there's not many players who can do that. And that's why I think he deserves it.
It's huge from a Manchester United legend like you, Mister. Thank you for joining us and thank you for your answers. And we really hope to see you in Egypt soon. If you'd like to spend the summer or something, we are waiting for you for here in Egypt.
Would be nice to come over once. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Mister. ياب ستام واحد من اهم المدافعين على مستوى التاريخ، اجابات صريحه، اجريسيف تو ذا بوينت، زي ما كان لاعب كره قدم بهذه الشراسه كان ايضا في اجاباته مع اون سبورت.